You'll get wealthy. In the near future, anyone investing in XRP will undoubtedly make a significant amount of money as it is now promised. Well, why is it the case? It's obvious because the Ripple team, developers, and founders all have faith in the idea and will stop at nothing to see it through to completion. Chris Larsen has more than 2.7 billion XRP, which is worth about 7.18 billion. There's something this man knows. Wow, I guess. Really? I'm not sure how much exactly he has, but I do know that he has a significant amount of XRP. Chris Larsen is someone who is rather unknown, isn't he? He doesn't appear out too frequently. Both David Shores and Brad Garlinghouse do. He doesn't have as much as others have. However, I wonder what they are aware of. What is the amount that Davy Shores holds? Millions and millions of XRP, isn't that right? Guys, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I do know that he has a lot. Well, Chris Larsen also has a lot. By the way, the only reason they will have a sizable amount of XRP is because they do, in fact, also possess Bitcoin, but they also have a lot of XRP. They haven't sold, but these folks do sell, don't they? However, they refuse to touch their baggage. All right? For years, they had been holding. Why not give them a few more years to increase their wealth? By the way, I think these individuals will be the first trillionaires. All right, XRP will create the first trillionaires. The second question then is, why are they holding so much? Because they think that XRP will rise at this time. In the long run, it won't dump. Isn't the only trajectory upward? For this reason, boys, you shouldn't worry. They do, and you know they don't lose, so you should have faith. Breaking quotation from CME Group, XRP has a really strong use case. Finish the quote. Why? Due to the fact that, the XRP ledger is a special and unique blockchain. I take it that it can manage thousands? 1,500 transactions per second, roughly. It's also being decentralized, correct? Neutral. Additionally, it's a neutral kind of technology. Because of all of this, it will be in a position to play a big part in this new financial system. And they verified what CE had said about that. Correct? You're your own coin. 99.9% of cryptocurrencies lack a compelling use case. I'll say it again, most coins will eventually disappear. Due to its inherent strength, XRP won't. Because of its partnerships and real utility, it is being used all over the world. The CEO of the bank's social media division then announces, I just met with the Ripple team. An excellent meeting. All right? Perhaps the most significant gathering in the history of international settlements, he says. Hydera and HAR continue to play a significant role in this strategy. What is the plan? Correct. Let me say it aloud. Perhaps the utility coins are being included into the new financial system. That's the plan. That's the plan of action. XRP is currently as well. Your thinking is too small. Have a big idea. I took that and multiplied it by infinity. The fact that people are unaware that this technology doesn't come along, like, every 5 years is the problem, guys. Correct? This technology is like a quantum leap forward, isn't it? Humans did not create the technology. Guys, this is what we see today, blockchain and cryptocurrency. Yes, this is the reason we should have a big idea. He stated that President Hodl is his real name, correct? I take it that he's saying, hey, XRP is going to get really big. Or, the vision of Ripple. That implies that the price will represent the worth, correct? The value of XRP and Ripple's value creation will be reflected in the price, correct? This implies that we will need to multiply XRP by this sum. Yes, things will get risky, but in a good manner. Guys, it's coming. What is this? Isn't this happening? Let's enlarge this now. Now, for years and years, this image or graphic has been circulated across the XRP community. It draws attention to an interledger graphic. All right, an interconnected ledger protocol right here, folks, in facilitating interoperability across payment networks, okay, and blockchains right here, and we see some connections between money networks, okay, SEPA, FPS, and from other countries, by the way, from Japan as well, with XRP's role as a what? Bridge money. Take a look at that. Correct. Because of how quickly XRP moves, almost at the speed of light, the background is also stunning. Now, the interled ledger, by the way, is an open protocol that sends value packets across networks in a manner similar to that of the internet, and its integration with XRP could improve the efficiency of cross-border payments. By the way, Ripple has been making an effort and continues to do so by forming alliances with hundreds of banks and numerous fintech businesses worldwide. Guys, it will happen. It is absolutely, the focus is now going to shift to breaking XRP. Bloomberg News. It says, CME promoted XRP as the financial future, and they simply stated what? Its use case is quite compelling. Yes, it does. Music, the cryptocurrency XRP skyrocketed in November 2024, rising more than 400% in just 3 weeks. The strength now seemed to be due to some relief that the SEC was about to issue a favorable ruling about whether or not XRP qualified as a security and ought to be regulated as such. Since then, the coin's strength has stayed steady, propelling it into the spotlight of cryptocurrency enthusiasts. Advocates now highlight 4 potential tailwinds for the coin. First, settlement times are blazingly quick as compared to competitors, who typically take 3 to 5 seconds per transaction. Because of this, XRP is more appealing for settling cross-border payments. Only rumors caused XRP to soar. Don't you see what happens if banks start adopting XRP? To transfer funds between countries. All right, so it's like isolated digital islands that will soon be joined to one another. All right? This will improve efficiency and make everything run more smoothly. Why? Because people are becoming lazy and they want things to happen more quickly. There's no more time for waiting. All right? Therefore, the objective of XRP is to provide a level playing field for the rich and the poor. All right? Money. Second, there have been rumors of an impending XRP ETF launch which would increase the coin's widespread accessibility and uptake. The introduction of a CME XRP futures contract is the third. It has long been believed that the futures markets are a good way to manage risk, which may eventually make owning a volatile asset like XRP more alluring. Last but not least, the number of active addresses that currently possess the coin is growing quickly. One such example is whale accumulation, where more than 300,000 addresses currently possess at least 10,000 coins. The final validation of the relatively new coin may be influenced by each of these aspects. I take it that they merely mentioned whale activation? What did they say here, I wonder? Or, folks, don't use whale active addresses. I have at least 10,000 coins in my possession. Is holding 10,000 coins what they consider a whale of XRP? If so, I'm not a whale, am I correct? I suppose that I am no longer if you mention 10K per XRP as I formerly was. I'm only attempting to gradually rebuild my antagonist over time, isn't that correct? Since this is undoubtedly a once-in-a-lifetime chance, isn't it? Since it won't happen again, we must exploit its guise. Everything is altered by this. The rise of the Ripple Hills crypto ETF is revolutionary for institutional access. Yes, because speculations of SEC Trump's involvement were the only reason why XRP surged without any ETFs. Since this is undoubtedly a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Isn't it? Since it won't happen again, we must exploit its guise. Everything is altered by this. The rise of the Ripple Hills crypto ETF is revolutionary for institutional access. Yes, because speculations of SEC Trump's involvement were the only reason why XRP surged without any ETFs. Without ETFs, without utility, and without all the money coming in from all kinds of sources, XRP surged. Do you see how this could get really big? In an effort to put more pressure on Russia, the EU is now considering suspending 20 banks from the SWIFT global payment system as part of a new sanctions package. Could now be the time that XRP is needed? As stated in the post, sanctions were escalated in 2022 after Russia attacked another country. As you may recall, the bear market then started to target its financial infrastructure in an effort to restrict international transactions. For example, Esper Bank in June 2022 demonstrated the tactics used to economically isolate Russia, indicating that they need to take a different approach. They might utilize XRP, don't they? What makes SWIFT's handling of 50 million financial messages each day across more than 11,000 institutions essential and vital? You all know about international banking, don't you? And the exclusion of Russian banks may cause problems for their international payments, which could lead to a rise in demand for substitutes like XRP. What is XRP used for? It is specifically made for quick cross-border transactions. Do you not see correctly? 3 to 5 seconds quickly, no costs or hardly any decentralized, so yes, as it's stated clearly here, it appears that XRP will be employed. It will. This is the reason they have so much XRP. You're essentially wealthy,